this is a quick blast through Yakety Yak. We just did a little bit of it last session. We'll use it to springboard into the next session. It's the first song with 3 chords, G, C and D. But it's a very simple, it's kind of the opposite of Copperhead Road. I thought you needed a bit of a break. You don't want to keep getting overloaded with arrangement ideas. So it's nice to juxtapose this song with Copperhead Road, follow Copperhead Road, because this is a simple pattern, okay? So the chord, and we'll take you through all the stages very quickly now. Chord line, you need to know the chord order to get the line, which is just, it goes in a circle. It goes from G to C, to D, to G back, and then stop. But the key thing is it stops on G, and then it starts again on G. So it's basically, it'll go, and then the tune, you have a bit of the tune, which is la 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 la. Don't talk back. Now the point is you finish on your G there. My fingering's going to go a bit weird, so don't worry. Hopefully that's not going to distract you. But you go, yakety yak, don't talk back. Which you go, yakety yak, don't talk back. And then you start on G. Just finish cleaning up your room. That's important, because if you start to think, oh, I'll just move in a circle, so you're on G and you start the next verse on C, you're going to be a chord ahead, and it's going to go all kinds of wrong. So that's to bear that in mind. But once the thing is we have to try and outline the chord changes in a sense to give you your hand a chance, and then we move to the song arrangement or the song parts. But with this song, they all kind of sit on top of each other in a really simple way, so we don't have to sort of sit there and count lines and all this other stuff. We can find a couple of relationships between the lyric, or we can skip the tune, because the tune, the tune and the lyrics we can do together. So if we just take the tune, we go la 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 la. So even with the tune, you can hear that you basically start playing at the end of each line, which, so your cue is the end of the line. And obviously it's four lines, so you got a first line on G, second line on C, third line on D, fourth line on G. Then the next verse starts straight in, first line on G, second line on C, third line on D, fourth line on G. And that's where you see fourth line on G, previous verse, first line on G, next verse, which is what you've got to pay and make sure you don't fall foul of. Once you got the lyrics, it's just, again, you go, take out the papers and the trash. Strum on trash. Oh, you don't get no spending cash if you don't scrub that kitchen floor. Last word. You ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak, don't talk back. The stops and starts, and I made a video last night sung it all out of tune, and I'm getting the stops and starts all kinds of wrong. So don't rely on me for that. But that's why you do read throughs and listens. I'll try and be right. So now you can just do that with one strum on each chord. Take out the papers and the trash. You're not gonna spend any cash. You don't start the kitchen floor. You ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak, don't talk back. Okay. But you can also put the second chord in as a spacer. So you go. You might find it easier to do that. The rhythm of the changes might make it a bit easier. It might not. That's for you to decide. So you go like this. You go. Take out the papers and the trash. Space. You don't get no ending cash. Space. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor. Space. You ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Well, I often don't do a stop on the D, which is where it should come. The D should have a stop on it. I'm checking my notes here. So yeah. So it's like this. Just finished cleaning up your room. Space. Musty that don't slide with that broom. And all that garbage out of sight. Stop or you don't go out Friday night. Yakety yak, don't talk back. That's the way the stops and starts work. It actually works it's quite important when you get to the point of doing the song, performing it, or in that the stops help feature the lyrics. I'll just do one more verse for you so you can hear that again. So it goes, just don't put on your coat and hat and get yourself to laundromat. And when you finish doing that, stop running the dog and put out the cat. Yakety yak, don't talk back. Now the thing is, you don't have to put those stops in. It's actually something that when you first start playing it, just go around the chords and get the chord shape, the shape of the changes right as you go around the circle. But as you get to know the song, you want to be able to put the stops in. But they'll mess with you. So it's a sign that you get to know this. If you get to know the lyric and the songs by singing along and listening, the stops will come naturally. And again, I'm just showing you where they are. The only other thing is it does so many verses. It does 3 verses, and then it does a solo, and then it does another verse, and then an outro. So the solo, after your 3rd verse, as you notice, there's no breaks between the verses. It just goes, and when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. Yakety yak, don't cut back. But you hear the solo go. And then what it does is it goes round. It does a whole verse part twice. So it's literally the same changes though. So like I just did then, didn't sing it very well, but if you can sing along with the solo, you shouldn't have no trouble. So it goes like, I'm not gonna sing it, but that's basically the thing. It's the same changes as opposed to the solo in Copperhead Road, which is a variation. But it's in this one, the solo's over 2 passes through the verse, exactly the same like you're playing the verse. Once you've done that, there's one final verse like you give me no dirty looks. Your father's hippie knows what cooks. Just tell your hoodlum friends outside. You ain't got time to take a ride. Yakety yak, don't talk back. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. And that's the outro. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. And then it fades out, I think. So yeah, you can see the trick is once you know you're in the final verse and you go into the outro. Again, not outros sometimes are a different part and you have to learn it, but in this one, it's no more changes. Just sit there and have a bit of fun on the rhythm, and you're done. So the arrangement goes like essentially no intro, verse, solo, verse, outro, and I'll upload the song parts because you've already, along with the lyrics after this has been uploaded. So if you need to see, we'll run it through next session. And we want to get on, but I want to get onto some more interesting songs as well. So that'll be Yakety done.